watch this thing happen. Somebody needs to get busy. Somebody needs to understand what I'm saying right now. Somebody needs to get diligent. Somebody needs to say, hey, God says, no, I don't care what's happening. I've got my eye on the prize. I've got my eye on greatness. I've got my eye on something good that's about to happen. Go sit down, you make me tired. I'm about to see something great happen, and I'm not going to miss out. He wanted his double portion. He wanted his double portion. And then all of a sudden they looked at the sky, and the clouds parted. And there came out of the sky a chariot of fire that came down and it picked Elijah up and took him up into heaven, into the heavens. And Elisha, why do their names have to be close? I don't know. Elijah said, oh, Master, and he rent his clothes. Because he loved Elijah. That was his buddy. That was his mentor. That was his friend. Until out of the sky fell the mantle. Right there at his feet was the mantle that just smote the waters of Jordan. He could have sat there and he could have cried and booed. Oh, he took my master. Oh, my mentor's gone. Where am I going to survive in this wicked world now? You see, there's darkness all around us. We see the addiction issues, and we see the problem with depression, and we see the problem with suicide, and we see the problems that people are going through each and every day of our lives. We see what they're going through. And we want to cry about it. Meanwhile, at our feet is laying a mantle. And Elisha picked it up. I'm just going to call him Junior from now on. And Junior picked it up. Oh. I got it. You know what? Go hang on to this. We're going to put that up in a memorial in the museum. Because we're going to remember the time. Just hang on to that. Because we're going to remember a time that he smote the waters with that. And we'll walk into this museum and we'll say, that's the very mantle that Elijah used. Remember when God was great and he was able to pull back waters? And remember when God was great and he was able to do these great things? Remember when God used to be great and do great things? Well, right there's something great that happened. That's not what Elijah did, or Elisha, or Junior. That's not what Junior did. Junior went over and he picked this thing up. He said, well, let's see if I got what he said I was going to get. Let's see if I got it. Let's go try this thing out. I've got the mantle. The double portion is supposed to be upon me. Let's go try it out. And he went down to the Jordan River. Well, he had to go back, right? And he jumped in and swam across. That's not how he got there. He's trying this thing out. He's trying to see if he received that double portion. So what did he do? He smacked the waters with that mantle. I don't know what you have inside there, but I hope it's not a phone or something. You're breaking it. And he smacked those waters. And it just splashed. That's not what happened either. All of a sudden, the waters began to roll back. And Elisha, Jr., walked through on dry ground. Mantles still fall. Mantles still fall. You know, he had a mighty move of God. He prayed for the sick or the dead, and they recovered. He went out and he caused the iron to float. When they lost their axe head, it dropped into the river, and they all of a sudden the iron floated. It broke all of science's rules. It broke all of their facts and theories and everything else, but it caused the iron to float. But you know what? A double portion fell upon Elijah, Elisha. A double portion fell upon Elisha. But I want you to understand something. That was an Old Testament story. That was an Old Testament happening. Elisha went on, he never knew death. But there was one that came later that was greater than Elijah. There was one that came later that was much greater than Elijah. He didn't know death. He ended up dying by the cross. And he went into a tomb. But it did not hold him there. He came up out of there. You understand what I'm saying? One greater than Elijah has come. One greater than Elijah has come. And his name is Christ. John chapter 14, verse 12. It says, Verily, verily, I say unto you, he that believeth on me, the works that I do, shall he do also. And greater works than these shall he do, because I go unto my Father. And whatsoever ye shall ask in my name, that will I do, that the Father may be glorified in the Son. If ye shall ask anything in my name, I will do it. I know I skipped one. If you shall ask anything in my name, I shall do it. So Jesus Christ is speaking here. And he says, Verily, verily, I say unto you, he that believeth on me, the works that I do, shall he do also. I'm sitting here wondering what kind of works did Jesus do? I'm sitting here wondering what kind of things did he do that was so great? Until I remember a time that a man said, Jesus, thou son of David, have mercy on me. He was a blind man from his birth. He was a beggar man. Jesus, thou son of David, have mercy on me. Jesus, thou son of... They tried to hush him up. They tried to quiet him down. But he said, he began to cry louder. Jesus, you see, he's taking a book. He knew that the prophets of Baal were dead. But he began to cry louder because he knew that this one that was walking in front of him was still alive. And he said, Jesus, thou son of David, have mercy on me. And Jesus went over and opened his blinded eyes. Listen to what I'm telling you today. The lame begin to walk. The dumb begin to talk. The mute, listen, the mute begin to talk. The deaf begin to hear.
Thank you, Lord.
Because of this one man. What a power he had upon him. He even walked up to a tomb of his friend that had been dead for 4 days, and he cried in the tomb and said, Lazarus, come forth. And Lazarus came walking out, bound in his grave clothes, and he said, loose him and set him free. What kind of power, what kind of works did this man do? He had compassion on the adulterer. He had compassion on the sinner. Does anybody know what sin means? I'm not sure why I want to step off on this for a second, but what does sin mean? Well, you like to say it, you like to point it out. Well, that's sin. Well, that's a sin, brother. I'm not sure about you.
An unlawful act.
It's actually an old archery term. Sin is an old archery term, which means to miss your mark. It means to miss your mark. That's what sin is. I was trying to do this. I was trying to hit this target, but I missed my mark. I was trying to stay holy, but I missed my mark. I I sinned. There's a lot of things that come to play when you're in archery. I love to shoot my bow. You got to think of the wind direction at times if you're taking a long shot. You got to think of our yardage and how far or how big of a distance it is away. You got to compensate for all of those things. Not to mention, you got to be very still. You've got to concentrate in order to hit your mark in archery. It means you're going to have to stay focused. It's easy for us to get distracted. It's easy of us to release the string a little bit too early. It's easy for us to make these mistakes. So why are we so critical on the ones that do? Jesus had compassion upon the adulterer. He had compassion upon the sinner. He went out, why? To save the lost. That's why he was here, to save the lost, to save the sinner. He had a power, and he said, these works that you see me do, these works that you see me do. Okay, maybe you still don't see these greater works. So he spoke to Peter and said, well, how are we going to pay our taxes? He's speaking to his disciples, we got to pay our taxes, we got to pay money, we're going to follow you wherever we go, how are we going to pay our taxes? Go down to the sea, draw your net, pull in you some fish, and open its mouth. They went down to the sea, they opened the fish's mouth, and pulled out money to pay their taxes. That's not a miracle, right? What else kind of works do you do? You know, I remember a time. Yeah, we'll get to that in a minute. What other great works did he do? Well, you know what? He was out on a boat one day, and he was sleeping while the storm came in, and it was tossed to and fro, and his disciples, Master, don't you care that we perish? Where's your guys' faith? I said, we're going to go to the other side. Said, peace, be still. All of a sudden, the wind stopped and the waves calmed. What other works did he do? Fed 5,000. A boy came. A crowd was there hearing him preach. And they've been there for a long time and they were hungry. And he said, well, we need to feed these people. And they're looking at me. I got that kind of cash. He said, what do we have? He said, well, this young lad over here, he packed himself a lunch. This young lad over here, he had a couple loaves of bread and some fish to bring it here. And he began to break bread and give morsel to everyone that was there. All 5,000, and that didn't include the women and the children. And they all ate and were full. And they came back and they took up the leftovers, and there was 12 baskets full of leftovers. What other great works did he do? Well, you know, there was another time that he went out and to a wedding supper, and this is the very first miracle that he performed. And he said, well, wait a minute, we're out of wine. And he said, well, go grab some water pots. Begin to pour it out. He began to pour out the water, and it was wine. Turn the water into wine. What else did he do? During a stormy sea, during a stormy time, they were all wondering if they were going to die. All of a sudden, they looked out and they see the image of a man. They said, oh my goodness, we're going to die. There's the death angel coming out to get us. And as he got a little bit closer, Peter looked out and said, Jesus, is that you? It's I. Walking on the water. You've seen these works that he does. You've seen these works that he does. They're a powerful work. They're a mighty work. They're great works. They are not fairy tales. They are not nursery rhymes. They are not any of those things. All right, Dad. There you go. Hit him in a bad place, right in his hands. And then his chest. Turn it to wine. He that believeth on me, the works that I do, shall he do also. And greater works. Wait a minute. Now he's saying, you see what I do. The same things that I do, ye shall do also. And greater works than these shall he do, because I go unto my Father. My water back. I don't want one. I don't drink that stuff. Jesus knows. I don't drink that stuff. Greater works than these shall he do. So what's different? What's happened? How come I have never seen you walk on water? Peter walked on water. He asked Jesus, hey, can I come out there with you? And he said, yeah, come on out. He jumped out of the boat and walked on the water. How come you never walked on water? Greater works than these shall you do. Greater works than, I can't imagine any greater works than raising the dead. Listen, I know I went off into a long story, but let's just get back to the message. Acts chapter 1. He said, and then being assembled together, the problem is that we haven't picked up the mantle. The mantle has fell. We just haven't picked it up. Acts 1, chapter 4 says, and being assembled together with them, commanded them that they should not depart from Jerusalem. Jesus is saying, tarry in Jerusalem, but wait for the promise of the Father, which saith he, ye have heard of me. For John truly baptized with water, but ye shall be baptized. You guys are killing me. Ye shall be baptized with the Holy Ghost not many days hence. I'm not sure where I'm at now. And when they therefore came together, they asked of him, saying, Lord, wilt thou at this time restore again the kingdom of Israel? And he said unto them, it is not for you to know the times or the season which the Father has put in his own power. But ye shall receive power after that the Holy Ghost is come upon you, and ye shall be witnesses unto me both in Jerusalem and Judea and in Samaria and unto the uttermost parts of the earth. And when he had spoken these things, they beheld, and he was taken up, and a cloud received him out of their sight. And he was taken up. Basically, what is he saying? He is telling his disciples the same thing that Elijah told Junior. He is telling them to wait. Because there's a promise that's coming. Don't leave this spot. Don't leave this city, because there's a promise that's coming to you. There's a power that's coming your direction. Don't you leave this spot until you receive it. Mantles are still falling.